Hey guys, this is Hawk here back with another video, and this one we are going over the Havoc. Continuing like the educational tip video series. Havoc has kind of always been my go-to weapon. I mean, I haven't been playing a lot, so I'm a little rusty, but I did just do a little warm-up that I'm going to show you guys with the Havoc. It's kind of always been my go-to weapon for the last little while. I mean, I'm not like a pro player or anything, but I mean, I have, overall on my accounts, I have played a few thousand games, combined, maybe like 3,000 between all my profiles, so, and I've used the Havoc for a lot of those. So, I'm just going to go over some tips about the Havoc, and then some warm-up routines. So, to start this one off, sorry if my voice sounds a little weird first, because I do have a Kleenex in my nose, because I got a bloody nose right when I was going to record this. So first of all, if I don't touch my right joystick, look what my action is going to do. It's way up there, and the recoil pattern has changed. So I mean, like if I try to hold my joystick, it's going to go like all over the place. Sure, I still killed the guy, but so it used to be able to be just went and held straight down, and you just hold straight down. But they've changed the recoil pattern since changing it in the first place. So they've changed it twice now. And so your first two bullets are going to go kind of wonky. And then the other ones are going to pattern out again. So you're going to let it go, and then you're going to start kind of holding down on it. So it's no longer the long range weapon it used to be, where you could just sit like all the way back here and kill that guy right there, because it's not like that anymore, even with good recoil control, just because how they adjusted this. So this is kind of like a close-up and medium range weapon now. I do like to throw sights on this. I either like the 2x or the 1x HCOG. And you can see it just melts right through him. Even this guy's, see, yeah, now at this distance is when it starts to get questionable. But really, you kind of want to start by aiming right at the midsection, and then hold down just slightly, and you will let your recoil take you up there for those headshots. Oops. And then so for a warm-up routine, that's usually what I do. I start practicing that from here. I do go through a couple other sites with it. So it's a small adjustment getting used to that zoom. It's because I haven't touched this gun in a few weeks. See, there's the first two shots. They go catty-wonky like that, and then they start to see. You see that? I'm not trying to hit them right now. I'm just showing you. So they go catty-wonky, and then they start to straighten out again. You see? So then that's where your first few shots, you're not really trying to hit those. But then after that, is when you go down on the recoil. So a way to get around this is to, pre-fire like that on the hip, and then go into it. You will save time doing that. So that's probably like the best tip for this. So those are two things you need to remember: is hip fire and then hold down on the joystick. There I was over exaggerating, but if you had a high sensitivity like I did, that's what it would look like if you're not barely tapping. But if you have a low sensitivity, like that's how much you'd be holding it down. On a high sensitivity, you just want to barely tap that. So this weapon does have kind of a hand for the other ones. Okay, and then a little bit of warm-up routine, you kind of saw it. I sit up there, I like to shoot at these bots, because on a weapon like this, I mean, these aren't super realistic to shoot at. But what I will do is I'll come up here after that. I'll practice my close range, my crouch spamming, my strafing up here. Because this is when this weapon is super deadly. It used to be a laser from a long way away, but anymore it's not really like that. So you just work on my crouch spams and stuff there. And then what I will do is you can come up here and just work on trying to hit these. Try to get 200. Tracking. And yeah, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot really to this. This was a really simple one. there's just like 2 things to focus on, and then here's a quick one-off guide you guys can use to practice this weapon. I mean, it didn't get a huge nerf, but it did get one. It definitely needed one, because this gun is probably one of the most broken guns ever. What is the next gun you would like me to do a guide on? I'm thinking it's going to be the Hemlock. Wherever that thing is, so I think it's right there. But yeah, I think it's gonna be the Hemlock, because that gun is a beast. If you guys aren't using the Hemlock right now, you're doing it wrong, because right in the current meta, that Hemlock is amazing. So yeah, that's gonna cut it for the video. They also nerfed the recoil extremely, or the hip fire on this gun extremely. Oh, okay, I'll briefly talk about this guy. So if I'm using that, I would prefer to have it 3 times if I'm using the select fire. And I don't really have a whole lot of tips for this, but do know that there is no bullet drop, so it's literally a laser, but there is damage fall off. There's damage fall off, but there is no recoil. It's like 60 to the body and 90 to the head, so it's kind of like the Sentinel. And the only really tip I have for this is, because it does take a long time, is again you do your hip fire and then you can go into it. The hip fire on it is pretty accurate, but not super accurate. See, but pre-fire hip and then go into it. Or you can even kind of do like a drag quick scope if you're good enough. Yeah, I mean, I don't really use that much, but I know a lot of people like it, and I will occasionally dabble with it. But right there, that's gonna be our next guide, I think, unless you guys have another idea of one you would like for a weapon guide, because this gun right here is just OP. Like, just look at how fast this gun shoots. On single fire. Like, hold up, just check this out. Just look at. Oh, my trigger finger's not warmed up right now, but like, look how fast this guy dies. I mean, I haven't played for 2 weeks, so. But I mean, like, it's a beast. It does take a little while to get good with it, but literally no recoil. Just look. Barely any recoil. So yeah, this is the gun we'll be doing next. Give me video ideas down in the comments. And that'll be it. If you have a fast enough recoil or trigger finger, you will be insane with that gun. Well, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.